Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to share with you a key concept of a commercial property investment versus residential property investment. If you are planning to invest into commercial property, then this video is going to help you to understand one of the key parts. If you want to know, then stick around. When you're looking for investing into commercial property, what you need to understand is that the rent, the way you collect for commercial property as compared to residential property is different. What I call is that commercial property in general is called net rent, whereas the residential property is gross rent. Now, what do you mean by gross versus net? When you invest into residential property, the rent that you collect, that's the total amount you collect as part of per week rent. Let's say if you have a residential property and you collect $500 per week rent, that means that $500 into 52, assuming 52 weeks you are collecting rent, that's about $25,000 to $26,000 in a year you will be collecting rent. Now that $26,000 is the total amount of rent you will collect from the tenant. Now what you need to do is that you need to pay all these expenses, what is called outgoings. Now these outgoings, you don't hear these outgoings terms too often into residential property, but this you hear a lot about commercial property. So in residential property, your rates, which is council rates, your land tax, your management fees, your insurance, all these expenses that would be paid by the landlord, which means that from that 26,000 that you are collecting, all these things is going to go, and then the remaining amount will stay as your net rent. And often you will see that if you have a property where you're collecting $500 per week rent, your expenses also going about $6,000 to $8,000 per year of all these expenses that I just mentioned, which are basically outgoings. As compared to in a commercial property, when you collect rent, and particularly if you collect net rent, then that means that on top of that rent, your tenant, who is the business people, the tenant in a commercial property, they will also pay the expenses or the outgoings on top of the rent, which is why the commercial rent is net rent. Now you might say that, Soman, okay fine, I have factored in this in my residential property as part of the gross rent, I can collect more rent. But what you need to understand that these expenses in such as council rates, insurance, land tax, management fees, all these every single year it goes up. So it's not only about this year today, it's also about next year. It is almost going to go up 10% or 7 to 10% every single year. Now if you can pass it on to your tenant, which you can do in commercial property, which means that your net rent will always be more as compared to your residential property. And this is one of the things that we need to understand, that commercial property is net rent or residential property is for gross rent. And if you collect more rent in commercial property, which is always you are going to do, you will have better cash flow, which is why commercial property is for income and the residential property is for predominantly growth. So you cannot get income from residential property, so you have to rely on the growth. Whereas commercial property, you can get income, and the growth that you get in commercial property is like an extra, which is kind of anything like an addition on top of your rent that you collect. Now here I have not put together about how much mortgages you have, how much mortgage payment you are doing. I'm just doing a comparison between residential and commercial, and you would be able to see that in commercial property you'll always collect more rent, your cash flow is become more, and you will get much better positive cash flow in commercial property as compared to a residential property. The next thing that I always talk about commercial property with residential property is, in commercial the bigger the better, and in residential the smaller the better. What do you mean by that? When you buy a commercial property, the bigger property that you can go, the better for you. You can start from, let's say, $300,000 property. Right now you can buy a strata title small shop, all the way it can go to even $20 million property. So from 300,000 you'll get less return. If you go to 500,000, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, as you go up you get a better quality product, in other words better quality asset. Your tenant would be better quality. Sometimes he's ASX listed, big companies, they will be the tenant, and it is almost that your risk becoming lesser and less lesser. Look into it, is $100 million one property. Of course, that means it is also fetching, let's say, $7 or $8 million net rent in a year. Versus residential property, the smaller the better. It means like no one in residential investor thinking that, oh, I'm going to buy a $10 million residential property and then going to rent it out, because it's not feasible. It's not going to work. Somebody who is looking for a even $5 million or $3 million residential property, for sure they are thinking of living. They are not thinking about renting it out. Now in residential property, the smaller the better means the small that you can go. Instead of buying one property which is going to give you, let's say, $3 million, you would be thinking how you can buy 10 properties, each one being 300,000, because the smaller the better means it will be easily rented and you will get that capital growth of 10 rather than having a capital growth 1. Because in commercial property it is more the income that you're looking, which is why the bigger the better. And in residential property, because you are looking for growth, the smaller the better. Now of course, once you have 10 residential properties, as you know, if you own 10 properties, then how much aggravation that you have, all the expenses after paying, it is still going to be negative cash flow. So you need to pay from your pocket to hold this portfolio. And this is how you need to look into your circumstances, what you actually trying to achieve. And if your goal is to have a mix of cash flow as well as growth, perhaps you can think about having both commercial as well as residential. If you're just playing simply with residential, or if you're simply playing with commercial, you might not get both, which is the growth as well as income. So this is something that I want you to think about. That key concept that I wanted to put together is that have income as well as growth, have some residential properties as well as commercial property. And if you're playing only one, then perhaps you are missing out the other. Hopefully you find these videos helpful and it gives you some sort of a trigger point on your side to think that why commercial property could be a lucrative investment, and particularly why these outgoings are paid by the tenant for commercial property makes a better positive cash flow, and how you can get into, even though you have a smaller budget, and tapping into equity from your residential property and buy a commercial property and see the magic. Buy one and see the magic. And if you don't know how to do this, by all means contact us. We'll help you, to guide you to go through these steps so that you can buy your first commercial property. I hope you find this video helpful. If you like this video, consider subscribing our channel, turn the notification bell on so you get to see more videos like this, and it also help us to reach out to more people like you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.